Now, when a client first comes to see you, I'm sure we can agree that they don't generally bring you everything you need right from the start. So your first switch may be on hold, missing info. And that section is called the More Info tab, which is available separately for both business and personal clients. But there is one thing that does carry forward from the two sections, and I'll detail that in a moment. So as you can see when you come in here, you do have an upper and a lower section, and they are for two different kinds of information. The upper portion is strictly designed for logging in here things like missing information which needs to be located or questions which require an answer. They'll use from anywhere in the program, so you don't necessarily have to go to the More Info tab. But if you do it from the More Info tab and you click the green button here, you'll see that it knows which client it's for because you're right on their file. If you want to do it from anywhere in the program, however, so let's say you're in the appointment section and you want to add a phone call. In the bottom right of my screen, you'll see there's a big blue circle with a question mark in it. Now, if we try out an example here, let's try out a question, see how you can really take advantage of these. So I'm just going to put testing in for the subject, but you want to put in a subject that maybe summarizes what this thing might be about. Then I'm going to assign it to myself. Now, let's say I assign it to a different user in my system, so we can do that as well. So let's say we give it to Tim instead. And if I've already notified the client, like let's say I've given them an email or left them a voicemail, I can simply state that I have at least notified them. I'll probably want to use my date stamp, and then I'll probably want to start by saying left VM, which would stand for voicemail. And then I could type in, here is what you need to find for me. Now, as the person leaving the question, there really is nothing further I need to do at this point, so I would simply just click OK and save it to the client's file. Now, if Tim is currently logged into the program, when I save this to the file, just above your time in the bottom right-hand corner of your Windows operating system, you're going to see a pop-up come up that will actually let him know right away this was given to him. Now, if for whatever reason Tim wasn't in the program at the time that this was assigned to him because he was out for lunch or he was just away for that day, then there are two other windows, if you see these advanced forms here for the upper and lower section. They are actually designed to come up when you first log into the program and show you all items that have been assigned to you from each of these sections that have not yet been resolved. If we open them manually, we get the same information. So the default that show me, go and run a search here for the upper section for Tim's name so we can see the item we've given to him. Okay, so there's the one we've assigned to Tim. Now, Tim doesn't have to go to this client's file. He can simply just scroll over to the right-hand side here, click View Info, call up the details of the item I've given to him, and you can see there's all the items we just pasted. So then Tim can also use the date stamp, and he can fill out whatever the answer was or whatever the follow-up needs to be here. So then Tim might say, okay, I've answered your question. Now, if we were logged in as Tim, it would fill out his name. But if you can see, when I do this, because we're still logged in as my name, it's using my name by default. So it would look like this. Now, he would say he's answered the question. He might even say he's entered your details. And then Tim's going to make one final decision. He's going to either resolve this item. So this means that Adam doesn't need any updates from him. The client is dealt with. This item's done. Or Tim is going to leave the checkbox as blank for resolved. And what he's going to do is he's going to say that it was finished as of this day by his name. But he's going to leave this blank because he can now reassign it back to my name and have the pop-up show up on my screen. So when he does this, he basically wants to use the program to update me. And if you can see the pop-up here in the bottom right, you'll see that the question now shows me that it has an answer on it. So now it's going to be part of my list, which means it's my responsibility to just simply go into that item, look at the details, and when I feel it's been completed, I will resolve it to finalize it. Resolved items stay on the client's file for as long as you keep them in the program, which also then means that you can run searches on any of these items for ongoing history.